friends, welcome back to the channel. I chopped my hair off and we're selling our house. The two are not related, but I felt that it was important to announce both. So as you can see, the title definitely gives away the big news that we are indeed selling our house. That's actually really scary to say out loud. I don't feel like I've said it to many people. Today is July 3rd whenever I'm filming, and so much has happened since I sat down and wrote the script for this video and kind of like what I wanted to say. I wanted it to be a little off the cuff, but I definitely wanted to gather my thoughts before I started recording. I put this script together the day before we took photos of the house and right before we listed. So we took photos on like a Monday and then we listed it on a Thursday, and then we ended up having a bunch of showings on the weekend, and a bunch of things have happened since I scripted this. So I'm going to talk about that at the end of the video because I really want to talk about the things that I wanted to talk about initially up front. There are two reasons why we really wanted to sell our house, but the first one is like a full stop, like it's the whole point, and that is because we wanted a safe home for our child. Obviously, our kids' safety is our number one important thing, and it's just not a good house for him at the stage that he's in right now. He's super fast, crawling around, starting to walk, eating everything, putting everything in his mouth. And obviously there's lead paint that I have not had the opportunity to get to yet. So as his parents, it's Jared my first priority to make sure that he has a safe home. And again, full stop, like that's enough for us to have sold our house. We've been thinking about this since about January, whenever we started seeing how he was developing, and we realized, oh crap, he is going to be a lot more mobile quicker than we thought. I don't know why we thought we had more time, but we started saving up in January so that way we could eventually get to this point to have a safe home for him. And the second point is time. We don't live by any family members, so I am a stay-at-home mom. Jared's got a crazy schedule, and we just really don't have the time to put into this house that it needs, which is actually a little heartbreaking to me because I wanted to do this house big. I wanted to do this house right. And I've had a lot of time to sit with these feelings of being like really disappointed that I couldn't do what I wanted to do. But at the same time, like I really wanted a baby and I have a beautiful baby boy and I'm very fortunate. But as a mom and as a DIYer and as an editor for my DIY videos and, you know, as this and that and this and that, you just can't expect to do it all. And I've addressed this in other videos before, but time is definitely the second reason why we are moving. Okay, and now for the fun stuff. What are we looking for in a new house? We're already contingent, so I want to talk about the ones first because what we wanted versus what we got, we are buying the most gorgeous house. Anyway, we close in August, but let's talk about what we were actually looking for whenever we were shopping for our house. Up front, I've literally said this for the last two houses that we wanted a primary suite. We wanted a primary bedroom and a bathroom. We wanted a suite. We wanted it together, and we did not get that for either of our last houses. This next one, we've got it. I don't know why that was so high on our priority list, but that's just something that we've been talking about for years and years, and we're very much looking forward to having that. The next is central air and heat. I really love the radiator heat. However, I do not like having to keep a 1-year-old away from the radiators. Right now, it's really difficult, and he likes to touch things, and he likes to touch fuzz, and radiators can hold on to fuzz really well, especially the ones that we have in our house. They can get very dirty very quickly, and so I just did not want to deal with radiators at all. So central air and heat are very important. One thing that I love about the Midwest is that most of the year you're either running your heater or you can actually like keep the windows open. I love that. I love having the windows open whenever we can, but still the option of having central air and heat is very important. Right now I have our big air conditioner running, which I'm hoping you can't hear, but those like summer days whenever you need the air conditioner, it's pretty brutal. I really wanted central air and heat for, again, those summer days primarily. One of the conditions that Jared threw out was built between 2000 and 2018. We really didn't want a new construction, but we also didn't want something like super old. And so that was just one of the conditions that Jared threw out that I hadn't really thought about, but it just made sense. And something that was really important to me is an attached garage. It's so incredibly important. I really want to get back to making art, and having an attached garage where I could still have access to like the baby monitor and get to Bubs really quickly, like that's very important to me. So an attached garage was an absolute must. We saw the most beautiful house. It had like this really gorgeous wraparound like top porch, and it had like beautiful green trim and a white house. It was just so pretty, but it did not have an attached garage, and I immediately was like, I cannot do that. I need an attached garage. I want my own space where all of my stuff is not just all over the house. Very important for an attached garage. And then like bringing groceries in, it would be nice to have a lot easier access than what we currently have, because our driveway is way back, and then we have to bring groceries, which again, with a child that's not like walking yet and can't quite help with groceries, it's just an inconvenience. So attached garage was definitely on the list and very, very important to me. I really wanted a functional fireplace in the main living areas. So our first house, we had a fireplace in the basement. It was functional, but we never used it because it was in the basement. We just didn't spend enough time down there. But in this house, we've never serviced our fireplace. I just knew that getting this fireplace fully functional was not something that I was super concerned with in the grand scheme of this house, because there were so many other things that I needed to focus on before the fireplace. But a functional fireplace in the main living room is something that I want. Maybe because I'm from the deep south and a functional fireplace in the main living room is very useless for 99% of the year. And so to have that and be able to actually use it decently, maybe that's why I want it. I don't know. And they're pretty. I think they're just so pretty. So fireplace, something that has creeped higher and higher on my list that was initially kind of an afterthought, but now it's like, oh, like top of mind, is a family-friendly neighborhood. I want him to be able to, you know, play with friends in the neighborhood. Whenever I was younger, I had neighborhood friends. And so I would love for him to have neighborhood friends. Even the option to have a neighborhood friend would be nice. Okay, it is fully the next day and it's a little dark, but here we go. We're going to keep rolling with this. One thing that we really did not want at all was a pool, but it really seemed like the pools wanted us. Spoiler alert, we have a pool at our new house, but most of the houses that we looked at while we were shopping online had pools. And then whenever we went look at 4 houses in person, 2 of the 4 had pools. It makes me very nervous with a really, really active 1-year-old, but he's in swim lessons now. The pool's fenced off. I'm going to take all the safety measures. So that makes me feel a little better, but I could have spent my whole life being like, I'll have a friend with a pool instead of being the friend with the pool. But we love the house and it has a pool and it's an above ground pool. So we have a pool. I am now the friend with the pool. And lastly, I want a nice backyard, preferably one that's completely fenced in. But I really wanted a place for both of the boys to be able to roam. Like Chewy has very rarely ever been able to free roam off leash outside. And I would love for him to have that ability. The new house is fenced in on 3 sides by the neighbors, but it's not front fenced in. So eventually we're going to end up fencing it totally. Just to know that the boys can play in the backyard is really nice. They both run around like crazy. So to be able to give them a nice backyard is something that was really high on the priority list. Where we're at currently, we're on a side lot and it's not fenced in at all. We don't have a very busy road, but it's enough to where I don't want to put my kid in the grass to play. And I certainly don't trust my dog off leash or even like on one of those in-ground leashes. I don't even trust them on that. So it's really nice that we'll have a backyard that they can at least kind of free roam in. So I'm sure you're probably like, okay, that's great and all, but I followed you for renovations on this old house. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, all right, bye. And to that I say thank you for following. I appreciated you being here while you were here. And I'm sorry that I'm not renovating an old house anymore. Maybe one day. Maybe one day I'll be back to it. We'll see. But I'm very excited for what's upcoming on this channel. My goal is never ever to waste anybody's time, because your time is just as valuable as my time, and I'm never going to take your view for granted. I really appreciate everybody who does take the time to watch my videos. But the thing is, I'm still going to be doing home content and DIY content. Jared always says that he wants a house with no notes, but truly, as long as I'm around, there's always going to be notes. Like, even in this next house, I go, oh, okay, well, this is really nice, but it would be really nice like this. Like, for instance, in a few years, the primary suite, I would love to do an overhaul of it. The house has 4 bathrooms, so it's not like I'm taking the 1 bath area away from the bathroom like I did in our last house. But you know, again, that's all like future down the road. I don't know, 5-year plan, whatever it may be. But like the laundry room, that's easy stuff that could be fixed, and just make it pretty, make it more visually appealing, make it a little more functional. It's pretty functional as is, but like make it more functional for our family, make it aesthetic. For me, building out a lot of the closets, they're very standard closets, so I want to build those out. There's a lot of work in this house that I would like to tackle that is not going to impede our regular daily living like all of my other home projects have. I really would like to bring a little more old house charm to the new house, because they have the most gorgeous fireplaces that initially, whenever we didn't have a house in mind, I was like, oh, I want to go to architectural salvage places and see if I can find old mantles. But honestly, there's some gorgeous fixtures in this house that I'm just not going to change. One thing that I would love to do is go to architectural salvage, I don't know why that's so hard for me to say, in Chicago and like surrounding areas, and find old light fixtures. I love the old light fixtures, and I think that they're so pretty. There's one salvage place that I found that has light pieces. I would still love to make my own sconces. I didn't get to do it for the primary bedroom, just time-wise it didn't play out, but I still have the sconce pieces, and I would still love to do that project. I think it would be a really fun project to try my hand at. And there's just a lot that I'm really looking forward to and tackling. So even though I'm not renovating an old house, I would love to add old house charm to a newer house where it makes sense to do that. I was talking to my dad the other day, and I told him that I'm really happy with the experiences that I've had, and that I'm really happy that I've got the opportunity to try my hand at so many different things. Like, truly, I never thought I would do drywall work. I never thought I would frame out a wall and things like that. And so to have had that experience was great. But if I never have to do drywall work again, I am okay with that. I did it. I got better at it. I'm not great. I am not great at drywall work, but I'm better. I'm way better than I was. And, you know, I'm thankful for that experience. But if I never had to do it again, I'm okay with that. I have a really fun nursery theme in mind. I guess not really a nursery anymore. It's more like a toddler theme, just based off of its current interests. So I would love to tackle that soon. I have big shop plans in mind. Oh my gosh. I'm going to have my own shop. I'm going to have my own dedicated space for my tools, and they're not just going to be scattered over the house anymore. And I'm so thrilled about that. I cannot tell you how excited I am to have my own shop space, to have my own office space. My computer is finally going to have a home, a permanent home for it to stay in. I'm going to have a better backdrop. You're not going to see the shadows behind me anymore. I'm going to hope to get some new lights soon, relatively soon. I'm so excited about all of that, and I'm really looking forward to all of that. And that's going to reflect on my channel. And I still want to do DIYs. I still want to do home projects. I'm still going to be here. And I know that I've been slower at uploading because literally time. If I had the funds to have an editor, I would hire an editor in a heartbeat, and I would be very consistent on content. But right now it's just not feasible. But I am going to be uploading home content still. Now, one pivot in my content is that I do plan on making more art. It's something that I've been really wanting to do for a long time now, but time-wise, I've had to focus on home renovations. And while home renovations do make me really happy, and I do enjoy making a house a home and feeling more comfortable in our own space, I have had so many art projects in my mind literally since before I quit my job. And the whole point of me quitting my job was so that I could focus on YouTube, but also on art. And I really miss my scroll saw. So I'm going to be making a lot more art. I have so much content in my mind. That is going to be something that I probably will keep short form. So I think that the gist of what I'm trying to say is long form content is going to be home renovations and DIYs. Short form content is going to be me creating art. Somebody had wanted to see the finished nightlight that I did, so I'm going to be remaking that. I have a huge project in my brain that I have been developing for a couple of months now, and I really need to start sketching it before I lose a lot of the ideas. But that is going to be a multi-part series eventually, probably in 5 to 7 years. At this rate. But, you know, I'm really looking forward to getting back to art, and that's going to be on the short form content. But long form content is going to be DIYs, something that hopefully you could maybe take inspiration from, or home renovation that maybe you get inspired from or just entertained from, or whatever it may be there. Anyway, I do feel like I'm kind of starting to ramble now, so I'm gonna wrap it up here. But if all of that does sound good to you, please don't forget to subscribe, give the video a thumbs up. I'm really excited for the direction of the channel. I'm really excited about life just in general. Like, this just feels unreal. Like, the past couple of days, Jared and I have just been looking at each other and being like, this is our real life. And that's something, oh, I'm gonna get emotional. That's something that we don't take for granted. We are extremely fortunate, especially right now. Jared works extremely hard for us, and this life is something that I don't take for granted. Anyway, as always, I appreciate all of you, and I'll see you in another video really soon. Bye, guys.